right, guys. Looking forward to you guys on. All right, guys, on YouTube. Getting ready to work with you guys here in a minute on a sports show. Kind of come up in about 2 minutes. Hang in there with me. And here we go. Okay. Okay, guys, here we go. We're going to talk Super Bowl. We're going to talk more Kobe. We're going to talk about some fun facts about the Super Bowl, some baseball news also. So we'll get to it in a minute. Here we go. Here we go. All righty, welcome back on Hannah Time Sports Show here on Global Sports Broadcasting Network, GSPN. We go YouTube Live, we go Facebook Live also. But you also can catch it on Global Sports Broadcasting Network.com, the live stream. Love to hear you talk, comments right there. Bring it in. I'm going to talk a lot today. More football, some Kobe, some baseball, for sure. But more importantly, I definitely want to talk a little bit more about this Kobe stuff at the top of the show. And then we're going to transition for the rest of the week into football and any baseball news because we get closer to spring training, which is a good time of the year for me too. All right. If you haven't paid attention to a lot of these little stories, I got another one about Kobe Bryant, wife, Vanessa Bryant, and another wife. Thurman Munson's wife, the former Yankee, 40 years ago, lost his life in an airplane crash during his career while he was 32 years old, Thurman Munson. He was younger than Kobe, and he was still an active baseball player. This story resonates in a lot of ways with Munson's wife. A story that kind of touched my heart a little bit because I remember the day when Thurman died and how it affected me and how it affected the country. Relatively the same. I mean, the crying, the emotional state of a lot of people, it really affected them. Even if you're somebody who did not like the Yankees, it just bothered you because it felt like it was taken from you. Diana Munson, former Yankee great catcher Thurman Munson's wife, was hurt and felt the pain of Vanessa Bryant, the wife of Kobe, and the loss not only just to Kobe, but their daughter. But the pain woke up some ugly pain in Diana Munson. And this is something that I read, and it's a big article that I read out of the New York Post. And the one thing that really got to me when I read through it, and I was reminiscing through Thurman Munson and what happened. If you want to go back and look on Thurman Munson, how people reacted to that and the national television coverage for that too, it was just tremendous and emotional. But Diana Munson says that you can feel the love initially from everybody else, the people around, the friends, other family members that she was going through when Thurman passed away. But she can relate what right now Vanessa Bryant is going through. The pain never goes away. It's just that she said she tried to suppress it and get away with it, meaning move on with life and try to do things that will help ease the pain. And it does in time. But right now it's very difficult. She said, I came to realize they needed to tell me what he meant to them, that she was feeding off of the love that they had for Thurman. Right now, Vanessa is probably starting to go through that, or eventually will be, to carry on. But she said one more thing that really touched me. Diana Munson, Thurman Munson's wife, who passed away, said this. For a mother to another mother, from a wife to another wife, this has got to hit you hard. I wish I could hug her. Tell her everything is eventually going to be okay. You have to take it day by day and let the memories you and the fans continue. Wanting to hug her. Now, everybody wants to hug Vanessa and be around her, and she's probably getting a lot of hugs. But when it comes from somebody who's experienced this, who went through the channeling of energy, of the ups and downs and the emotional crash of losing somebody so close to you, you got to know that it meant more than just being there. And for Diana Munson to go awaken that the story itself, the incident, the crash of Kobe and the others in the helicopter, it woke up all of her dark emotions, hurt emotions that she tried for 40 years to continue to move past it. And it was all awakened on Sunday. And now she's trying to reach out. I'm sure she has tried and probably has already, like a lot of people had. I thought that was a tremendous story. And good for Diana to really come back, not willing to hide from the pain that she's gone through, but to help others that are going through the pain that she went through too. Beautiful story. That's the story you want to hear. Those are the stories you want to get through. Not the glorifying stuff. It's the stories that people are helping each other, especially from somebody who's been through it. Again, we talked about this yesterday. A lot of people have experienced losing people, death, and it's hard, very hard. Yesterday, the social media of the world got hacked into the NFL. 15 football teams in the NFL got hacked. 2 of them are in the Super Bowl, the 49ers and the Chiefs. And what's wild and scary and creepy about this story is the hackers leaving a message, a creepy message. Do you want to hear this? It says, "Hi, we're back. Our mind. We are here to show people that everything is hackable," it read, "to improve your account's securities." So was it a warning from somebody saying you're not clean, you're not protected, everybody thinks they're protected? Or is it somebody terrorizing and it's going to get worse? Wild as it is, the NFL, with all its security, what it's been trying to do, and all the money they have, can still get hacked. Half the teams in the NFL websites got hacked. They got inside on that. I wonder what else is getting hacked. So they said in a creepy way, "Hi, we're back. We're here to show people that everything is hackable," adding to improve your account's security. So they leave a little message at the end that you better catch up because we're ahead of you. The hackers are ahead of you. That's not good. That's not good for the world or the globe. It's like a never-ending thing going on with hackers. It's scary. Very scary. Let's say hi to some people on Facebook right now, also on YouTube. Thank you for joining me on the show right now. Gonna have a little interference, but the show itself on Hannah Time on Global Sports Broadcasting Network, coming to you live on globalsportsbroadcastingnetwork.com. You can listen to the stream right now. We're going to give you all the coverage for all the Super Bowl coverage from one day to the next day up until Sunday and following Monday, where all the talk about who won and how they won throughout this week. Going to be out in Miami later on this week with more insight about Super Bowl 54. Just finished the story about Thurman Munson's wife reaching out to Diana Munson. Diana Munson, Thurman Munson's wife, reaching out to Vanessa Bryant because Diana Munson lost her husband, baseball player Thurman Munson, in a plane crash at 32 years old. So the pain resonates with her, wants to give her a hug. All right, football news, NFL, repeating it one more time. 15 teams got hacked. 15 NFL teams were hacked. Crazy enough, wild enough that 2 of them are in the Super Bowl. Scary. The message was, we're back. And that everything is hackable. which means the hackers are always ahead of you, it seems like. And the ones that we are here to help stop preventing hacks, man, it just never ends. And how worse, and one day does somebody get dangerous enough to do something of the impossible? That's the scary part. All right, moving on with the show today here on Hannah Time. Um, the big story also from yesterday from the Kobe Bryant is that the pilot itself may be at the highest level of fault. Poor decision, was warned about the thick fog, and that this Cadillac limousine helicopter has never had functional problems, has always had a great condition, has been flown fantastically. So they doubt very highly with the record of this helicopter that it wasn't a malfunction. It was pilot mistake. And it's going to be more investigated, but it's really leaning this way. And with all the data coming out right now, it does not look good. He did lose his life, the pilot, but sadly enough, nine people all lost their lives. All right, NFL news. If you didn't hear, Drew Brees may not be retiring. Or is he? Drew Brees said this the other day, that his making of a final decision is going to take a couple of months. A story that has not been talked or spoken enough about Drew Brees' career. It has not been finalized and confirmed on where he wants to go, if he wants to play. He said he'll retire and be a Saint forever, but he hasn't decided if he wants to play football. Drew Brees, that's a big story. Philip Rivers, reports coming out of Fox Sports, Jay Glazer says the Chargers are done. Philip Rivers did pack up and move out, which basically he knew the Chargers are done with him. Philip Rivers could be good for you for 1 or 2 years, whatever he's got. If you have a good running game and a good defense, I think you'd be okay with the Philip Rivers. Tom Brady, well, Tom Brady has no team. It's not the Patriots, but his owner, the former owner, his former boss, Robert Kraft, said that he'll be surprised if Tom's not a Patriot. He wants and expects Tom to be a New England Patriot next season for 2020. So the owner believes Tom will come back for one more year as a Patriot. But we all know Tom has moved out, cleaned out everything that he had in New England from what we know. And as a free agent, the Chargers, LA, California, he's a California guy, is a strong possibility. I also think Tampa, Florida is a strong possibility for Tom Brady, along with Philip Rivers. Those are my two spots. That and the Indianapolis Colts. I think they're the two best places for either Philip Rivers to go to or Tom Brady. The Chargers are a good spot, but we don't know how healthy and how good they are, and were they just a fluke a couple of years ago. The Pittsburgh Steelers and their fans were rated the second year in a row as the best fans in football. It's the best football city. It's number one city for football fans for the second year in a row, the city of Pittsburgh. More NFL news coming out of the AFC North. Kareem Hunt, the former Kansas City Chief, who's having hurtful thoughts about not being with his former team, the Kansas City Chiefs. He is a Cleveland Brown. He should be grateful that he had a second chance. Police videotape on January 21st, traffic stop obtained. Hunt admitted he would fail the NFL drug test if one was administered to him at the time of his arrest. Him admitting that may have just cost him his NFL career, as things have gotten so bad for Cleveland. They still have a great running back in Chubb, but the tandem of Hunt and Chubb was dynamic, very effective. I'm happy he admitted it, but I'm not happy the fact that he hasn't cleaned up his act. Kareem Hunt may not be in a uniform next season. Myles Garrett, we don't know if he's back with the Browns next year with his suspension. The Browns got a lot of question marks. They got a lot of people, coaches, front office people, new general manager, people like that. but a lot of problems in Cleveland to see if they can get this straightened out. The Green Bay Packers said and expect, I should say, to release tight end Jimmy Graham. He's 34 years old. He gets injured a lot. Maybe for 1 year or two, he can help a team at the tight end position. He still has great hands. He's still a good catching tight end, a good blocking tight end, but staying on the field is Jimmy Graham's issue. Super Bowl news, George Kittle, tight end of the San Francisco 49ers. Speaking on Monday's podcast, George Kittle revealed that he has been playing with a torn labrum in his right shoulder since last season, 2018. No surgery so far. He said that he dislocated his shoulder last year, and that caused a torn labrum in his shoulder area. So I don't get surgery on it. He plays with it. It does hurt time to time, he says, but he plays through it. And there's no chance he gets surgery on the shoulder because he can't miss those workouts and those workout days, which means he's willing to play injured like that probably for the rest of his career until it gets to the point where it really hurts or he tears it more or it gets worse. So he feels like he can play long-term with this injury. We'll see. Maybe in the offseason he may. But if you get the injury, the surgery, it nearly takes you out like 9 to 10 months. It can really shut you down. So you lose a lot of time in the offseason and maybe part of summer, maybe first part of the season of next year. 49ers tight end George Kittle also revealed something really disgusting. He vomits, and he throws up a lot. Well, he says every game, before every game, he says. It's sort of common. He works out, he comes back into the locker room, and he throws up before he goes back on the field to play. He said it makes him feel good. I think it makes some people feel good when you get it all out and you don't feel as bad anymore. What causes him to throw up? The nerves, the energy, or does he just do it? He didn't really reveal on that, but he reveals that he throws up before every game. And he'll do it on Super Bowl Sunday. Super Bowl Sunday, the match between the Chiefs and the 49ers has a very unique, dynamic matchup. The 49ers pass defense against Patrick Mahomes and the speedy wide receivers of the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes, NFL ranked 25 touchdown passes versus the pass rush defense of the 49ers, giving up only 9 deep passes all season long, which led the NFL. Passing yards, Mahomes, throwing over 20 yards, completing passes for over 20 yards. He's first in the NFL with 2,317. He's thrown 25 touchdown passes for over 20 yards, which leads the NFL also. He also is averaging a separation of 2.5, which also leads the NFL. Throwing over 20 yards, Pat Mahomes, the Chiefs, they like to go big. They like to open up. They like to throw the ball downfield. And they have a lot of runs after catches. But these are throws that are over 20 yards, though, in the air. So that means the ball is getting past 20 yards when he throws the ball most of the time. The 49ers defense has been pretty good, but a lot of it has to go to that front defensive line. Can they get to Mahomes and that offense and prevent the big play? The 49ers defense was the best in the NFL preventing the big play. Only 9 passes completed allowed over 20 yards. The completion rating for that is only 20%. Second all-time in the NFL this season. The Patriots offense was all about short passes and never throwing deep. The 49ers offense is similar to what the Patriots would do. But for the Chiefs, it's not common for what they really do. They're a big play team. And a lot has to do with Mahomes getting out of the pocket a little bit and keeping his eyes downfield and creating big throws. He's one of the best in the NFL, or the best in the NFL, getting out of the pocket when he needs to. If he stays in the pocket, you're in real big trouble because that means he has way too much time. And there's a stat out there that the Kansas City Chiefs are the best team in the NFL protecting the quarterback for 3 seconds. And that's all you need. It's 3 seconds to hold the pass rush. Can they hold that pass rush against the 49er defensive line and the defense pass rush the 49ers bring every game? Big. This is the big matchup of the Super Bowl. And there's one more too. The 49ers running game being effective enough for that offense for the 49ers to be productive. They need to run the ball, 49ers, or it could get hard. It could get difficult. You can't move the ball and can't put points on the board because you can't run the ball. It's going to be Garoppolo all day, and I don't trust that still. I still don't trust it if it's all about Garoppolo. All right, more comments coming in. We're going to say hi to some people. We're going to say hi to Glory, Bradley, Don in the house. I appreciate it. Antonio in the house. Mary Beth says, Elizabeth, hey, wouldn't BA have a field day with Brady? He would. And I will tell you this. He is very good with quarterbacks already, Bruce Arians. I saw a comment the other day that was really amazing. Jameis Winston did not have a great year in a way of throwing interceptions, but the former or the free agent quarterback of Tampa Bay had his best throwing numbers. He threw over 5,000 yards. He threw for over 5,000 yards. He had an explosive offense. He just threw interceptions. And that's something that may never work out, but Bruce Arians got the best out of Jameis Winston last season. Nobody's ever gotten that out of Jameis Winston. Tom Brady or Phillip Rivers with Bruce in that offense and those wide receivers, I'll tell you what, it would be magic, and the rest of the league will be on a big warning of the Buccaneers there'll be a strong candidate to be in postseason next year. And if it's guys like Brady or Phillip Rivers, you can say potentially Super Bowl candidate with a great quarterback. Phillip Rivers doesn't have to be the star, but he can definitely throw for 4,000 or 5,000 yards with Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians did that with Carson Palmer, elevated his game. He can elevate Phillip Rivers. And with Tom Brady, it'll be ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Keep your eye on Tampa Bay. If it's not Tampa, the Colts really have a good team and a really good offensive team. Keep your eye on that one also. Those are my two teams for these two quarterbacks. High potential. I also think Carolina would be a good spot for Phillip Rivers to go back home to Carolina. Levon, Dale in the house, Chaverson, Lorraine, I got you, Chris. You do agree. I appreciate that. More comments coming in. I appreciate it. Also on YouTube. Thank you. Here's some fun facts and crazy facts about Super Bowl 54. When is the Super Bowl being played? Did we forget about what happened over the last few days? Everything kind of confused us. It is next Sunday. But it's going to be, for the first time in Super Bowl or NFL or TV history, I guess, live stream of the broadcast is available on 4K. And technology-wise, the visibility of a 4K screen on your phone or device is amazing. Fox Sports is going to present that and give that to you on their applications, on their apps. Fox Sports website itself, you can go look for it. The game is starting at 6:30 Eastern time. The coverage on Fox begins at 2 o'clock. And all the live streaming also begins at 2 o'clock Eastern time, which is 11 o'clock Pacific time and 3:30 kickoff time Pacific time. That is 12 o'clock noon in the desert and 4:30 kickoff time in the desert. Fox Sports is also going to have it on all their apps. Got to go to foxsports.com. But what you need to have and what you need to know if you want to watch it on the 4K is the Apple TV. It'll have it on Apple TV, Roku, Fire TV streaming devices and smart TVs, Android TV, Xbox One, Samsung Tizen smart TVs, iPhone, iPads, Android phone and tablets, OS 5.1 and above, and a computer of various browsers to watch the 4K of Super Bowl 54 on your device, which is going to be a lot. A lot of people are going to watch the game on their devices more than ever before for Super Bowl 54. The trend is there. The numbers are there. More people are watching the NFL on their devices more than ever before. So Fox is going to bring it to you and give it to you at a high level of a UHD 4K Ultra HD, as we say it. You can also watch it on your watch, on your iWatch. You can watch Jennifer Lopez and Shakira at the halftime show. You can watch the national anthem if you want to. The game's being played in Miami, if you haven't figured it out yet, the Hard Rock Stadium. And again, go to Fox Sports to check it out. I'm going to. I work for Fox also. The Ultra HD is something different, dynamic. I'm just trying to help you a little bit understand what it is. You can download it. Doesn't cost you anything. And it is a pretty picture. It is beautiful. If you have it at home already, beautiful. If not, the Apple TV, the Apple Watch, all that can be watched on this also. It's really what the changing of the times of watching games that is really what we're talking about. If you take all this, what I've just given you about the Ultra HD, the UHD 4K devices, that Fox is going to bring it to you, and all the others are going to follow from this point on. They're all going to bring it to you more and more because that's where we're doing it. So the changing of times of watching TV on your TV set is still going to remain for its own reasons, but a lot of it, and I would say most of it's going to be on your devices because that's where we are. It's convenient that way. And who's singing the national anthem? Demi Lovato will sing it. Great comeback story for her if she can pull us off and keep clean with her troublesome life. Great career, but her personal life definitely. This is a big moment. This is a career moment for her for popularity again. This is what they do. This is what they got to do. She's got a chance to bring it, get her name back out there, and rejuvenate a career. Demi Lovato herself. All right. More news about the Super Bowl. If the 49ers win the Super Bowl, this is San Francisco. This is the Bay Area, very politically left, democratic type of mentality, views in that area. The owner or the CEO, Jed York, said he hoped the 49ers had the chance to visit the White House if they win Super Bowl 54 on Sunday. Doesn't mean they're going, or did he kind of say, I hope so, because that means we won the Super Bowl and we're going to the White House, or the potential of a White House visit. Does that mean doesn't want to jinx his team that we're going to win and go to the White House, or he's just saying, that'd be nice if we get the call, he says. I hope we're fortunate enough to get the call. I wonder how that goes well in San Francisco right about now with all those politically people who are more left than right in that area. It's, hey, when we're talking about these days and these times, makes you wonder how things go over there. But moving on, when the franchise moved from Dallas, Texas to Kansas City, the Kansas City Chiefs and founder Lamar Hunt looked to the 49ers for something very particular and very special. The team logo. What would it look like? What would the logo of the Kansas City Chiefs look like? Think carefully. There's a clue. Team logo, 49ers logo. The club's uniform remains virtually unchanged, with the exception of the helmet logo. The state of Texas replaced on the headgear by a design originally sketched by Mr. Hunt himself on a napkin. The former owner, Lamar Hunt, his family still owns it. The inspiration came from the San Francisco 49ers SF logo oval on their helmet. So you got the 49ers SF and the its own basic design. So the KC and the SF are related. Lamar Hunt looked at that, turned the SF into the KC, very structurally very similar. Ironic that the two teams are playing in the Super Bowl. That once was designed logo shared. That's pretty cool. I love stories like that. Those are the stories that you definitely want to hear from the Super Bowl. So the overlapping initials appear inside a white arrowhead instead of the oval like the 49ers SF surrounded by the black outline. Very similar. Look at the logos of the two teams on the helmet, and now you know the rest of the story. A lot of crazy stories yesterday. Yesterday was media day, and also basically opening night, as they put it. I would say the media day used to be on a Tuesday, and some fans got invited, but mostly it was media on the field with the players, and basically it was a interview, press conference, all afternoon or early morning, I should say. Now it's the same setup, but fans are invited. They had it at the Marlins Stadium, Miami, where the baseball team plays. So it was all over that field. It was set up perfectly. Big stage, big moments. It was a big party. And this is how the NFL wants to continue to do it. So they did away with the old, and they've been doing it this way, making it more fan experience. Yes, there's money involved. Yes, it costs money to do this, but it's big, and the NFL is going to go big. Today, things got back to sort of normal. The coaches and players were being interviewed. There were press conferences early this morning. Players and teams are going to get back to some walkthroughs for the next few days. There's still going to be a continuous meet with the media throughout the week. Specifically, certain players, not everybody, will get chances to meet the media again. But this is how it's going to play out. And then everything gets cut off later in the week. And we're just gearing up for the party scene on Friday night in Miami, on Saturday night in Miami. And then you get ready for Super Bowl Sunday itself. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I've been through Miami for a Super Bowl. Ironically, the 49ers against the Chargers. And had a great time. Had a great time. I got to tell you a funny story. Back in our days when being single and fun was a lot of good times. And as you get older, you kind of, whatever reason, you forget and you move on and you grow, you become an adult, right? And you always think back on some of the crazy things you do. Here's a funny story. Got to Miami back in the mid-90s for Super Bowl, Chargers and 49ers. And my good friend Mark, I won't mention his last name. I don't know if he wants to hear this story, but it's not bad. It's just funny. Really funny. So, spending some time with some friends in the Florida area, Miami area, where I worked for 3 years, met up with people, actually spent the night at one of their houses. My other good friend was there, and he didn't want to go out. So his girlfriend at the time says, I want to go out. I says, I'm going to get us a limo. I said, my friends and I want to go out. We're going to get a limo, and we're going to hit the town. I said, awesome, let's do it. But I said, I got a problem. My friend Mark from Arizona is coming into town, and I got to get him at the airport. And it's like at 7 o'clock at night. She said, no problem. No problem. It's all right. No problem. So I get in the car with my friend's girlfriend and 3 other of her girlfriends. So there's like 4 or 5 ladies in the car. myself and the driver, and we're going to the airport in Miami to go pick up my good friend, Mark. So I'm on the phone, whatever, and Mark's going to be curbside waiting for us. And he didn't know how he's going to be picked up. He thought I was going to get him in a rental car and pick him up in the rental car. Well, the limo pulls up. I see Mark, and I made all the ladies get out of the car and run up to him, grab him, hug him. Come on, baby. Come with me, baby. Mark with one bag and another carry-on, without even hesitating, didn't care that I was picking him up, gets in the limo. He gets in the limo and smiley, confused, and he looked at me and he's like, I go, bro, you're going to forget about me, man. I thought it was awesome. It was a good joke. I wonder how many people would have done that. How many guys probably would have jumped in the limo with him or with those ladies. They were nice friends. They were just good people. Just good, clean fun the whole night. It was a good time. But I thought it was really fun. It was probably the best comical joke I had on somebody. Just set it up that way. But that was a good memory. There's a lot of memories when you go hang out on Super Bowl weekend. You go to the clubs. I remember just walking into one of these clubs that Prince, the great artist Prince, who passed away, was hosting a party, and I had an invitation to go. You know, I get on the, you get your name on the list, you know, and you got to make some calls, and you put it out there, and they're pretty lenient and good with media people because they want attention, and the club owners and managers want exposure on their club. So they let media come in. So I got my name on a list, and I'm walking up. And I'm walking up on a sidewalk a couple of blocks with my friend Mark. This is like the next day. And I'm hanging out, walking up with former Dallas Cowboys, former Super Bowl champions from a year ago. And they could not get in. They're like, hey, you're going in? I go, yeah, because it's like, we can't get in there. It's like, can you get us in? I'm like, I'm going to try. Let me go up. All right, bro. We got you, man. You get us in. We'll take you all night, man. We got you for the rest of the week. I'm like, let's go. I'm going to be a cowboy for a couple of days, right? So I do my thing. Tell the guy or the lady, she crosses me off. She gives me a pass. I say, listen, I'm here with my crew. I said, they're Dallas Cowboys. Can we also get them in? And she looked at me, of course. So it was really easy. For some reason, those guys didn't get in right away. But when I said, come on, guys, holy cow, they thought I was magic. I don't think I did anything other than just ask. But they thought I was magic, man. They just put me on a pedestal. It was a fantastic time. And yeah, they drank like a rock star and a Super Bowl champion, basically, and hung out with some, it was crazy. So that's what happens a lot of times when you're getting around these big scenes around Super Bowl week and Super Bowl weekend. You find yourself in situations, sometimes you just like, how the heck did I get here? Now, you don't want to be the ones that get in trouble and things like that. And that's what we did not do. We did not get into that. We just hung out with some cool people, really cool people. Yeah, there's some weird stuff. Yeah, I would have to say that the fact that I was hanging out with some Dallas Cowboys in their circle or my circle, our circle, that even the ladies would like ask me, well, what position you play? I'm like, it can't be that easy. Yeah, when you're a professional athlete, it gets that easy. So I'm just saying, you kind of get a glimpse of it when it's like, my goodness. And I go, come on, lady, are you that bad? Like, this is bad. Horrible. But anyway, the show was great. Prince was fantastic. It was a great club scene. A lot of people. It rocked. That was a great time in Miami. That was one of my many stories. There's more, but I'll just kind of leave it right there. More comments coming in. If you have any Super Bowl moments for you, I'd love to hear them. Love to hear them. Share them with me if you can. Let me go here. We got Mary's in there. Gotta love the The multitasking. Oh my gosh, yeah, totally. Nobody wants the Cowboys in their. Hey man, you don't know who you end up with hanging out in shows like this and big events like this. You really really don't. I can go on and on. I'm just trying to think of more storytelling about the Super Bowl times. Oh goodness. I mean, hanging out with Chicago Bears. You know, Walter Payton, got a chance to sit with him, just sitting in a lobby in New Orleans when they beat the Patriots. You know, those are situations that you don't realize. Today, that doesn't happen. The players are protected. Nobody gets that close. You know, thinking about more Super Bowls. The moment I was with Troy Aikman against the Steelers in Arizona, interviewing Deion Sanders, man, he was just, man, he is Showtime, and he just was all of it. But the Aikman moment was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. But you never know where you're going to end up at. You never know. I'm trying to think of more Super Bowls. Gosh, where do I go next with this? I've been to a whole bunch of them too. Hanging out with Terry Bradshaw, Patriots and Giants. That Super Bowl, that was a great one. I enjoyed that one a lot. The one in San Diego, Redskins and the Broncos. The Redskins and the Broncos. You know, Joe Theismann. Another one in San Diego with the Packers and the Broncos. Wow, that was a great Super Bowl for me. I really enjoyed that one. The Broncos and the yellow. That was the Elway win, the first time he won, you know, the whole thing itself. But that was fantastic itself. Man, I don't want to get too far into the storytelling, but just reminiscing about the good times that you have, even as fans, when you get there. Okay, now it's more controlled, and they kind of, you know, like cattle, channel you through places to go things. But you got to stay away from that a little bit too. Okay, I always say to you, want to hang out. You want to hang out. You want to hang out around the headquarters of the Super Bowl headquarters, hotels that are for the media or the NFL headquarters. That's not where the players are staying, but the see all people. A lot of people are hanging out there in the front lobby itself. You know, the Steelers Cardinals Super Bowl was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. You know, that was a little different for me. I had the honor and the opportunity to drive that day. You know, when the executives of Fox Sports are hitting the town, they want to drink, they want to have a good time, they want to go to a party. You know, they don't want to worry about driving. And their rental cars are sports cars, and you get asked, hey, we're looking for somebody to drive tonight. You know, and these are people who are producers, and they're all like going to drive somebody to make sure somebody is safe and getting back to their hotel. So that's what happens a lot during Super Bowl, is that everybody's looking after for the talent and for the top people of Fox Sports. And this is what's going to happen this weekend with Fox. So my job, or that I took on, was to just take care of the top executives. Got them in the car, drove into parties, hung out. They invite me in there, and you're sitting in there and you're hanging out with people that are just the big executives of sports broadcasting. And everything is quiet. I won't say anything because it's my vow. But you put yourself in situations that it's unbelievable. You know, career-wise, it helps. You know, but when you see things and you watch things, it's amazing. Very powerful. Very powerful. Those were very powerful sports executives for Fox Sports itself, too. Storytelling, the stories they tell me, conversations they tell me about things that they experienced, just goes beyond what you will never hear. Nothing bad, just good, knowledgeable things that I enjoyed during Super Bowl week. You get to talk to people with so much knowledge and just sit down with them. Just sit down with them. Don't talk about the obvious stuff. Talk about real life stuff, conversational stuff that they like to talk about too, you know? And it's enjoyable. I never forget those experiences. There's a lot of them. I don't know when they'll come out this week. Hopefully I'll tell you more. But I see more comments coming in. Ruby, Felix, Eddie in the house. I appreciate you coming in and popping in. So what is your best Super Bowl moment? What is the moment where you will never forget about a Super Bowl. There's so many of them. There's so many of them. I'm going through a bunch in my head right now, and I looked at a bunch of Super Bowls that I witnessed. I watched the William Fridge Perry, the refrigerator, score his touchdown. I watched John Elway's moment. Okay. I watched Steve Young's 6 touchdown passes beating the Chargers. That was huge Super Bowl performance. The Joe Montana monkey off his back game. You know, um, the James Harrison touchdown, the Larry Fitzgerald Cardinals take the lead touchdown, the Santonio Holmes touchdown. Those are big ones that flashed through my mind. You know, the Packers Steelers Super Bowl that I went to. There wasn't really a lot of big moment plays. There were just, if you think about it, there was the early part of the game that had interceptions, but that game didn't really. It had moments, it had turnovers, but it wasn't like highlights. Like, wow. Like, if you look back at that game, you don't really have anything that goes wow. It had potential to be a wow moment, and it fell short. That Super Bowl did. The Montana Marino game had its moments. I think just Marino in the Super Bowl against Montana was probably the only big highlight that really sticks out of that Super Bowl that I remember and witnessing itself. What are your moments? What do you think about when you reflect on Super Bowls itself? There was a lot of them. I remember the Steelers Cowboys Super Bowl, and there was a few big moments in that one. I would have to say the Larry Brown interceptions that sealed the victory for the Cowboys when looked like they were about to lose and blow the game, and the weird interception that was big. That's the highlight of the game. The onside kick that the Steelers got them back in the game. I don't know if people remember that. They remember the Saints onside kick against the Colts, but the Steelers had one against the Cowboys that also, similar to what the Saints went through, flipped the game and got them going in the right direction. Steelers didn't finish it. The Saints did, and won their Super Bowl that year too. So I think those are the two big ones in that Super Bowl that I witnessed. And then you got the Patriots and the Giants, the Eli Manning escape throw to Tyree, the helmet catch was fantastic. It was crazy. That was the big one in my head that I witnessed. I was on the 30-yard line when I watched that, so it was basically like right in front of me when I saw that. So I saw it right in front of my eyes, which was really cool, just a few yards ahead in front of me. The Plexico Burris touchdown was big in my head because it was, wow, the Giants are going to beat the Patriots moment. That's when you went, whoa. And I was standing in the back of the end zone for that one. That was cool. That was a cool moment. But there was one more that I'll never forget with Super Bowl is in that back of the end zone. The Patriots have the ball, and they had one more chance with 35 seconds on the clock with no timeouts, though. And there was a blitz sack, and I saw Tom Brady around the 20-yard line, which was real close to where I was standing in the back of the end zone. He got hit by a Giants defensive lineman named Alford. He lifted him off the ground. I never saw Tom Brady get sacked that viciously ever. Not only he got hit and taken down, he was hit and lifted up, feet off the ground and on his back hard. And I watched Tom Brady lay there. He didn't want to get up. And the whole game he was getting hit. And it just was like, I watched him. And that always stuck in my mind. He got back up. He threw one more pass. It was the long pass incomplete that ended the game. But I never forget that moment of watching Tom Brady. It was like he felt defeat, but he had to get up and he realized he had one more play. It was just a very surreal moment, too. The undefeated season had one more play. He had to get off the ground to do it. And he didn't want to, it looked like. It looked like he was like, it hurt. That was a heavy hit. Look back on the highlights of Alfred's sack late with 35 seconds to go in the game. Watch what happens to Tom Brady. I never forget that. It looked like he was like flat in the air. And then there was one big moment. It was my moment in Super Bowl history where I almost made national television. I almost made it's a funny story. Same game, Giants, Patriots, undefeated Super Bowl game in Arizona. It was one play to go. Tom Brady throws the long pass to incomplete, and we thought the game was over. We thought the clock ran out. So I made the move. I ran onto the field from the back of the end zone. I was helping out the parabolic guy from Fox Sports who asked me to help him round up his wire, his cord, his cable line. The parabolic is the big dish thing that picks up sound from a long distance. Okay. So I helped him out real quick, and then I turned my attention to run out, get out there, because that's something I had a chance to do, and I was very fortunate. And as I'm heading out there, I see the football. I see a Super Bowl football on the ground. And I'm like, no way. Like, what the heck? So my mind was like, what the heck's the football doing here? So I wanted to go pick it up. It's on the field. The game's over. So I'm starting to like go from straight line to leaning out, drifting towards the ball as I see it. And somewhere in that 20-yard line area of that part of the field. And as I get closer, my eyes see a referee, a zebra, an official. And he looks at me. I look at him. And I realized something was weird. I stopped. I look up. And I realized what I saw was players and media people crashing onto the field, was now departing like the Red Sea. And I look up and I realize there's 1 second left on the clock. So I turn around and I jog straight back towards the back of the end zone where the goalposts were. And I go back, and the camera guys and all the media people are going, dude, you were going for that ball. I go, it was sitting there. I was like, I couldn't help it. It's like, you picked that ball up, man. You know what had happened? I said, I know. Would have been weird. I probably would have given it back to the referee. But it was like a weird, I would have been jumped by police. Who knows? It was just an odd moment. And probably not a good moment with Fox. But it was just, it would have been on TV. There's no doubt. It was a good joke on the sidelines. People had fun with it. I'm glad it played out perfectly where nothing went. And then went back on the field when it all was said and done and enjoyed the confetti. I just wanted to feel the confetti. All right. You see it on TV. I'm like, I got to taste the confetti. Okay. And I did. It was like a blizzard. It's pretty cool when you're in it, actually. You really can't see in front of you. It's really like somebody takes a bucket and dumps it over your head. And I took a lot of good photos, players doing their thing, doing, angels, doing snow angels and confetti and things like that. So anyhow, I hope you enjoyed some of the stories. Wanted to go through with you. I got some people popping in I want to say hi to. I say, Todd, I see you. Stephen Harris, Diane in the house, JT Holohan. You remember that, Mary? You do. I'm glad you. Gianni in the house. How you, Gianni? Simon in the house. I appreciate you popping in. Todd says, if you don't like the Super Bowl halftime shows that impress me, it ruins everything these days. The Super Bowl halftime show. All right, we're going to talk about this later in the week, but we'll do some of it now before we head out. The Super Bowl halftime show, the best one that I witnessed, not on TV. Okay, I'll tell you ones I didn't like. I didn't like the Bruce Springsteen one. Okay, I didn't like that one. I didn't like the one with Black Eyed Peas, Packers, Steelers. I'm trying to remember the Broncos. I'm trying to remember Broncos, Packers. I just remember Jewel singing the national anthem and how she was lip syncing it and it stopped. That I'll never forget. That was crazy. Trying to think the other ones. I don't remember the one in Miami with the 49ers and Chargers. I remember the Diana Ross one with Steelers and Cowboys. I thought that was really cool when she flew out on a helicopter. Gosh, I don't know, man. I don't think I really had any really good ones. I think the ones that I saw on TV, I would have to say the Prince one in the rain in Miami, singing Purple Rain, literally singing Purple Rain in the rain. Colts Bears Super Bowl was probably, man, symbolic, beautiful, amazing. The U2 show for the Rams Patriots Super Bowl, which was the 9/11 Super Bowl, like the post 9/11 Super Bowl, which was very memorable when they had all the names on the big screen. That was very effective. So, and it was good. It was a great show. The Michael Jackson one on TV, I thought it was fantastic when Michael Jackson did that in the Rose Bowl, when he popped out and flew out underneath the stage. He rocked it. I thought that was very powerful and very good. Maybe those are the top three. I'm trying to recall any other ones those are hard to beat though. Those are hard to beat. You know, I don't know who else did a great job at the halftime show. I know Green Day showed up with U2 for that Super Bowl too, which was pretty cool. But yeah, I think Michael Jackson, Prince, and the U2 show at halftime are probably the ones that stick out in my head. I don't know about you. Let me know what you think. Okay. National anthem, Whitney Houston, hands down. I thought, what's her name? Gosh, I think she did it at the 49ers Chargers Super Bowl. I don't remember now. Oh, Kathy Lee Griffin. She did it, and I thought she did amazing. She really has a beautiful voice. At least at the time she did. I was impressed with that one. Whitney won. Yeah. I'm trying to think who else did the national anthem. You know who I really liked? No, she didn't do the national anthem. Felipe Sparks' daughter. No, she didn't do it. You know, there wasn't too many of them. You know, Whitney Houston set the bar too high. Like, really high. Trying to think who else did the national anthem. That was really impressive. Really good. I remember Pink did it. She did a good job. But, you know, I don't think anybody can match Whitney, what she did and the time she did it with the Gulf War going on. You had a Super Bowl that was full of red, white, and blue with the Buffalo Bill colors and the New York Giant colors were red, white, and blue. The end zones were red, white, and blue. The field was red, white, and blue. The fans wearing their team colors are red, white, and blue. It was a Gulf War. We had Apache helicopters flying around. We had sharpshooters on top of the stadium. You know, high level security going on. It was impressive. And then there she was. You know, I remember the story that I heard from William Roberts, one of the football giant players, who said he was standing next to Whitney during the national anthem, as Whitney's up there on that little platform singing it. And the question I talked about him was like, you know, how impressive, you know, or how nervous were you? And he goes, you know, I wasn't thinking about the game. I was looking at Whitney. I couldn't believe I was standing next to Whitney Houston, and I thought it was a cool, comical, awesome moment that you're about to play the game of your life, Super Bowl 25, against a team that was a heavy favorite, and you're looking at Whitney Houston, and it was making you nervous. You were watching her, you were just glorifying it, and it was like you didn't know you were in a football game, about to be in the biggest game of your life. A great story. One of those stories that, again, if you don't talk to these players and talk about other moments, what you were thinking about, what was going through your mind, kind of stuff, you don't get to hear stories, you know? And guys love talking about their careers also. That's another thing about Super Bowl week when you meet up with former players that played the game, that played in Super Bowls, or just played the game. And you talk to them, you hang out with them. You're going to meet them and see them anywhere and everywhere you can. They're all over the place. But when you get a chance, take advantage of it. You know, the elevator moment, it's hard. On the escalator, it's hard. You know, but if you're in a moment where you're standing there and you're just chilling and maybe he's talking to somebody and you say, hey, man, big fan, man. I love the time when you like get their attention or just simply introduce yourself. They want to talk. They're there to have a good time. They're looking to have conversations also. So if you ever get the chance, take my advice. Comments coming in, and then we'll blow out of here. Bruno Mars. That was a good one. Good job, Mary. That was a good one. I think Bruno gets a lot of credit for that one. The NFL needs to go away from the jokes and come back with the old school rock and roll. Yeah, remember last year we talked about this? We talked about bringing back Led Zeppelin, you know? Bring back Pink Floyd. Put them on the stage. Put Floyd and Zeppelin on the stage. Watch what happens. Like, watch what happens, right? You know what? Yeah, you get these like reunion tours that I'm like, that's what we're dealing with because we're not hearing anything. The Grammys suck. Nobody watches the Grammys anymore. If you did, what are you watching anyway? The music, there's so much great music out there that we're never hearing or not getting enough of. So we're falling back on our old timers, the old music that still rock us, still get us there. And now they're all going on tour. Like they see window of opportunity. They do. Great opportunity. And you put together a couple of those old timers. I don't care about Motley Crue. Not doing it. Don't want them out there. But if I can get if I can do a Britain halftime show, if NFL wants to go the route of global football, they're in the UK kind of thing, bring in Def Leppard, bring in, Floyd, bring in Zeppelin, and watch them rock. That's going to bring down the house. They all can do a couple of quick songs, right? You get to do two each real quick, not the whole length one, and then finish off with the seventh one that is a great jam. Maybe, who knows what they come up with. There's no doubt the house will come down. And everybody will want to watch. And you better do it fast. These guys are getting old. But they can still rock. I don't think some of these guys can sing the way they have, and that's okay. But we definitely want to hear them. I would love to hear those guys rock a halftime show. I don't care about the pop music. You know why it's pop? You know why Shakira is there? You know why they're all doing the same old? Because the industry is being monopolized by the agencies that are owning the radio stations, that are owning the pop music people. And these are the same people that are with Pepsi. If you're not with Pepsi and with Pepsi's people who are in this umbrella with Pepsi and those artists and those record labels and agencies like that, you're not getting in. Because they're not going to promote other people's artists. Until the NFL says we need to change, something different. It's the only way it's going to work. Some people may not understand that. Some people may say, I'm not fully telling, well, I'll tell you what. Why is it that we always see pop singers every Super Bowl? It's the same people that you hear on the radio if you listen to it. It doesn't change. Doesn't change. Bruno Mars got on the stage because he's part of that circle. But he had a great show. He had a great show. It's different now. There's more politics involved, more business decisions involved. Why is Demi Lovato doing the national anthem? Does anybody really care a whole lot? Like, is that a big deal? No, it's a career move. It's a move. Yes, you correlate it with the game, with the city that you're playing in. But at the same time, why is she getting it? You have to debate that. I mean, I would like to see an opera singer do it. Bring somebody big. Right? That would be cool. Bring in Bocelli. Bring him in. He doesn't have to see the game. He can just sing. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Bring in the great singers. The ones that doesn't need a career boost. How about that? So make you think about how it all plays out. Not to kind of take away the excitement of it, but you're tired of it. I am too. It doesn't change. Even if we petitioned it. The greats can stand on their own talents, and that's basically, you're right, Mary. Hey, Chris Farina. Hey, buddy. Chris Farina, man, you're tired of the Grammys, aren't you? The Grammys, isn't it like the worst? Like, what happened to the Grammys, man? It's horrible. And what you see on Super Bowl Sunday are artists that are part of that whole circle. And that's what you're going to get. I mean, for one, not everybody is down with the artist that you're watching at halftime. Not everybody's down with it. Not a lot of people are thrilled with it. I would say a lot of people won't even care. So who cares? Oh, I get it. Jennifer Lopez and Shakira. Oh, wow. How hot is that? Is that what you're selling? You're going to sell just what? A Vegas show? Like, what is it supposed to be? Is it meant for TV or for the fans at the game? Like, it's really strange. It never really sounds good at the stadium, by the way. The sound systems, the echo and everything, you don't really get a stadium effect for it. A lot of fans are, if they're too far away, which a lot of them are, get like a echoey, distant sound that comes from it. It's really strange. Not always. It doesn't sound like a real sound check that you want for a real show in a big stadium. Just saying. But overall, I'm not big on halftime shows anymore. I'm done with it. I think the last time I really cared was watching Prince doing Purple Rain. That was the last time I really wanted to watch that because it was raining and I thought that was freaking crazy. It was just, you couldn't ask for a better moment, right? Other than that, I don't care. Why are we so excited about the Pepsi halftime show, right? I don't drink soda. I don't care about Pepsi. But Pepsi, you know, they got artists and they got to promote people and they're all tied in. So it all works out, right? Been bad for 15 years, Chris Farina said. Yeah, it's been bad. Talking about the Grammys. And the halftime show, too, is nothing to be excited about. It really isn't. I was going to say one more, and I'm going to end it with this. And I really have to apologize to an artist that really did a great show. It was probably the last time I really felt like it wasn't Well, here it is. I cannot believe I forgot about Tom Petty halftime show, Giants Patriots, and the crowd singing free fall, right? That was echoing in my body right now. Just hearing the sound of all the fans. It wasn't one person saying or singing those words, free falling. And Tom Petty, God bless him, we lost him. All his hits were played, but when he got to free falling, holy smokes. That was awesome. And we all sing it. We all know the song, no matter if you just happen. It's like it's like an anthem for something, right? You all know that song when you hear it. Oh, that's that song. Like that's free falling. It will always have its place. And when he sang it, and you heard 80,000 fans together, and I remember I was on the field for that one during halftime. I was standing out there, and I just watched and listened, and I just was getting chills. Like, this is fantastic to have so many people at one time together, singing together, being together. It was just, and hearing Tom Petty, just hearing his voice. So I would have to say that halftime show, forgive me, Tom Petty, I'm sorry, I forgot about you. That was impressive for me in person, was Tom Petty's halftime show. That will go down as the greatest one for me. I cannot believe I forgot the one I really was always amazed about. It was amazing. And Tom Petty was an old timer, right? Wasn't what you're seeing today. And look what happened. Look at the reaction of the fans that went rock or just had a good time with a song like that or two that Tom Petty. They all got into it. So the evidence is there. It's all there. Bring back some of the old timers for halftime, and we'll have a good time. We'll talk about, about this later in the week. It was a topic I wanted to say, but why not? We can still always talk about it. Yeah, Demi Lovato's coming out of a drug problem. I know, and it's a career boost opportunity for her. Again, this is a marketing thing. It's an opportunity. God bless her. But at the same time, it is what it is. It's this is about somebody else marketing and promoting somebody because of they want to make money on it, and that's all you're seeing. All you're going to see. Watch the commercials. They're not as good. Oh, Don says a reggae show. Let's do a reggae show in Los Angeles. I got it. We're going to do a reggae show in Los Angeles. Okay. For Super Bowl, is it in 2 years? Because legally you can smoke, right? California laws. So just put out like is it Ziggy Marley and a couple other bands, bring them out. Bring out some Rasta boys, men, right? And then smoke out the stadium in the new stadium in LA, because it won't matter. You got enough fog and enough smog in that air, right? Light it up. And by the time it's the third quarter, the game will not have any food left, because everybody went to the munchies by the third quarter because the halftime show. What else do you have? You'll have a quiet stadium because people will be stoned and staring at whatever. You'll have people making jokes because they'll be giggly. You'll have people passing out because they'll be sleepy. There'll be a great. What else can you see happening? Because in LA, man, it's the law. If you have metal, how do you stop them? So bring in the Rasta boys. All right? And then sing out loud to everybody. Don't worry about a ting, because everything's gonna be all right. Right? Even those three little birds, right? And everybody will still sing that song together. And everybody will sing Three Little Birds on my doorstep, singing sweet songs. Right? Everybody will sing that, even at home. Right? Even if you're smoking out yourself, you're still going, hey, I know that song. Yeah. and and then you just stand up and you go like, birds, melody. Hey, where's that's my girlfriend, Melody. Like you get wackos. It'll be a funny, trippy, you know. Put up some psychedelic stuff on the screen, freak people out, right? By the time the players come on the field, they got jerseys of fans switching, hugging, kissing, making love in the stand. Everybody's happy. Nobody cares. Don't worry. Oh my gosh. Hey, why not? Right? LA could use a little love because it's been, gosh, they're the city of angels, but in a lot of ways, a lot of rough things happening in that area. All right, I hope you had a good laugh at that. I don't know. You want some funk and R&B, some fusion of the '70s? I think it'd be pretty cool, man. I think the funk would be great. I think people will be dropping it good. What funk bands would you want to see? I mean, I'll be okay if what's his name? Oh my gosh. I want to see that song Frankenstein. Oh my god, what's his name? The freaky white blondie singer or musician. Dun, 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 dun. Right? I can watch that for the whole halftime show. That'll be enough. I think people will like that. Right? Now the funk that you're talking about, yeah, I mean you can have some R&B funk from the '70s, some fusion sound that would be really really cool. It would help a lot. I think that would be one last hurrah before the people who are a little bit older can kind of enjoy too. I don't know if that will happen, but you know, it'll be nice to see them having a rotation of genres of music that we can all enjoy every other year or different year of something different. Okay, I would appreciate that. I think the Beyonce one was the worst one. It just was everything. To me, it was a political divide. It had nothing to do with entertainment. I give Lady Gaga a lot of credit because even though she was politically very dividing in a lot of ways, she never went there during her performance, and she did it the right way. She performed and she just entertained, and I gave her a lot of credit for that. And that was the only reason why I was watching to see if she would go, rogue on us and go political on us like these other ones have been doing. And I just hope that Shakira and J-Lo don't do it. I just hope. Because if you do, you're going to lose your fans. Be smart. Be smart. Be together. Be entertainers. And that's what you were hired to do. You don't win if you divide, no matter what side you're on. The moment you start to go down that path, you lost half the country or most of the country. Or people who just don't care anymore about that crap, even what side you're on, they're just tired of it. So we'll watch. And, if Shakira and J-Lo want attention and they want to say something because their careers are what? I mean, J-Lo, you shouldn't worry about your career. But if you're bored and you need to stay away from it. Please stay away from it. Don't need it. But I don't know if I'm going to watch it though. It really doesn't interest me. Okay, it doesn't. I know a lot of people are excited because two hot girls are on the stage, gonna shake it, dance, sing, and that's it. It's just gonna be like a Vegas show. That's all. All right, Edgar Winter. Thank you, Chris Farina. Ziggy Marley, Edgar Winter. Just put them both on the stage, right? We'll go into, all that, and then we'll go into Ziggy, right? Bring all the Marleys bring all the Marleys up there. Bring them all. Bring all of Jamaica. Break that. Just bring Jamaica. Bring them all up there. I want to see the big Rasta guy who just walks around in a toga. Right? Hey, for real stuff, man. Some for real stuff down in Jamaica. Real. They smoke. They really smoke. I seen some steams down there, man. You don't believe what you saw. I have a lot of ties with Jamaica through my family too, by the way. So I want to get my dad, who had spent some time in his life down there with my grandfather's business and things too. So there's a lot of ties with Jamaica. I love my Jamaicans. I have some friends who are Jamaican still to this day who keep inviting me to go. Um, yeah, I think I would love to see a reggae halftime show. The calypso, a drum dinging, drum banging sound is something that was just always spirited to me to dance, to move, you know? And you can almost sing anything with reggae. You just saying something, talk about your day and just talk and sing it with the reggae sound behind you. Fantastic. Good job, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Moody Blues. That would do fine. But what they're doing, they're trying to also reach the young kid. They're always trying to captivate the next fan, keep them interested in, and then Pepsi wants the spotlight and all this. It's so much political and money and about marketing and promoting their own artists that it's a sham. It really is a sham. It's sad. It really is sad. And they're all tied in. And I hope somebody has the balls and the boobies to just get it right. Just stick them up, baby. Put them out there and say, let's go. Let's get this right. Just stop the BS. Stop the same old, same old. Just get out of this and just do it this way. This is what the people want. Let's get real instead of being fake. And that's the part that people have just grown at. They're just so tired of it. It's fake. Kids don't care about J-Lo and Shakira. High school kids don't care about them. They don't. College kids, for the most part, or don't care about them. They got other ones in their heads. They got bands that you don't know about. They root for bands and they cheer on bands. They love bands with monkeys with three eyes. That's the name of a band, say. I don't know. I just made it up. They're it's just so beyond what the music industry knows. But on Super Bowl Sunday, we're supposed to sit there and applaud and enjoy what we've been watching for 2 decades. Like, we've watched this before. Why are you doing it again? It's Vegas. Go to Vegas to watch an old show, right? Let them tour that way. Why do we want something? Give us, if you want to go old and you want to bring back something that we don't see, that we don't get enough of, bring it. Love to see it. And we got so upset with Janet Jackson booby hanging out. Bring it back. Because, you know what? Since the booby thingy, we only had Tom Petty, Bruno, and Prince that I can say was anything excited about or cool about the Super Bowl that I liked. So bring back Justin Timberlake, bring back Janet, and take them both down. because you're not really, you're giving us the same old crap. And who's to say on Sunday? I mean, you brought on, what's his name? Was it last year or 2 years ago? Yeah, it was last year. What's his name? Maroon 5. You know, Maroon 5, popular, big name, always on TV. You know, Levine's on TV. He's got to come out shirtless, being all pumped up, tattoos. Obviously, he took it, but at the same time, we've seen this act before. We know who he is. And the only thing we got out of that was his shirt was off. He was singing a couple of songs, but his shirt was off. Oh, did you see that his shirt was off? But nobody gave a crap everybody gave a crap about Janet Jackson's boob hanging out during a Super Bowl. But, Maroon 5 and their lead singer comes out half naked, but nobody cared about that. Oh, we didn't hear anything. Hypocritical bull. So bring back Janet. Janet, take it down, man. Take it down. Am I wrong about that? I really, we don't need to see anything like that. I'm just trying to show you the hypocrisy of it, the BS of it, the fakeness of it, the marketing BS of it all. It's all in front of you. We just got to just understand. So the halftime show to me is done. You got to rejuvenate it in a bigger way. All right. A lot of ranting going on today, huh? Cecilia in the house. Dawn says, the Steely Band. Steely Dan Band. Robert, Billy Reynolds in the house. Don. Garth Brooks. Yeah, I promise you got 50,000. Yeah, Garth Brooks. They won't bring a country guy in there. Yeah, they won't bring him in because they're it's all going to be about some white guy singing a country song. Bottom line. I'm not white. I'm not anything other than, I'm Middle Eastern. And I dealt with my own BS of people of racial stuff, bias stuff. I know I've been through enough of my life already. I understand both sides of the things, but Garth Brooks is not making it on the stage. You're not going to see anything like that. You're not. Until we change as a country, as we shouldn't care about anything other than the music, the entertainment, and the love of it, and we're fine. But we're always going to label things. We're always going to put something out there and identify and try to relate and keep people happy other than just let it be. It's okay. It's entertainers. It's music. Music is for everybody to appreciate. I had people come up to me, do you like Latin music? But yeah, I love music. I love listening to it. I don't care what they're singing. I can't understand the language, but I love the music. If it makes me move, it makes me feel. I love to feel music. Bottom line. Just appreciate the music. And that's the part I hope most people do, other than the labeling part and things like that. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think you're going to get that. You won't get it. Not right now. Not right now. But there are legends in the country music industry. There are legends. There are legends that, and I'm not even a country fan, by the way. I'll listen to it. There's some really, Tim McGraw would be awesome with Garth Brooks and a third one. Bring a female out there if you have to, Bring them out. Let them sing. It'll be big. It'll be big. And a lot more people like country music than you know. They do. But it's not going there. That's not going there. But we'll see what happens on Sunday. We'll see what happens. Todd says, 50,000 fans. I would say Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, there would be a good moment. Other than that, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate it. Good show. I appreciate you popping in on this one. We're gonna talk to you tomorrow, a hump day. Let's see what kind of humpy, weird stuff we can talk about with Super Bowl. Just keep your comments coming in because a lot of the comments I like. For Global Sports Broadcasting Network, Facebook and YouTube Live, and Hannah Time. You are listening to Hannah Time. I'm Cornelius Brad Hannah. We'll talk to you tomorrow.